Good morning, travelers. This is going to be the first open reading of February. I know it has, I don't know for y'all, but for me, the past few weeks, actually the past month, has been really chaotic. We had a small break astrologically after the eclipses in January, but baby, it's getting ready to ramp up. And for me, what's happening for me is, if I look at my solar sign chart, I have Sagittarius on the 4th house. And as we know, Jupiter is transiting through Sagittarius. Typically when you have a Jupiter transit across your 4th house, this means that you get a lot of opportunity to expand, particularly in terms of the size of your apartment, the size of your house, or condo, buying land, moving great distances away, right? But then that also puts Taurus on my 9th house. And Uranus is about to transit into Taurus. He's about to move back. He moved in May 8th of last year. Then he turned around a few days later and he went back into Aries. He retrograded back into Aries. Well, March 6th, he's going to be moving back into Taurus. Because I have Taurus on the 9th house, that's the natural house of Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the internet, imports, exports, foreigners, people at a distance from you, getting your message out to the masses. But because I have Taurus on that house, that speaks to my personal wealth, my possessions, my money, my 401k. So what that tells me is that my personal finances are directly tied to the work that I'm doing. YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, LinkedIn, the website, okay? And that means that if you guys are struggling financially, that means that my finances are going to be a little sketchy as well. So, I've been kind of trying to slow down the process of looking for a house because right now I just don't feel financially comfortable. Even though I can make the move, I just want to get a little bit more to kind of, we don't want that tower situation to occur. And there's a house that I want, that I'm looking at. The house, it just says, buy me. It's, I'm yours. And I feel it has a real vibe there. But what I'm worried about is that tower situation, which is I can get the house inspected and find out that the foundation is jacked, or get the house and find out that the electrical wiring. Why? Because Uranus rules electricity. I can get the house and find out that there are plumbing issues. Why? Because sometimes Uranus will create floods. So these are the kinds of things you can look at with your astrological chart. For those of you who have already gotten your transit tutorial from me, it will behoove you to go over to astro.com and cast yourself a chart. Look at both the 0 Aries, because that's going to tell you what's happening in the real world. And then look at your solar sign chart, and that's going to tell you what's happening for you personally. It's going to give you 2 different stories, but you can piece it together and kind of see what's happening. So I know that I've been you haven't heard a lot from me, not even on the website, so bear with me. I think things are kind of winding down for me this week, and I've got a few articles, and then this afternoon I'm going to come back and finish the Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer readings and get those posted up to the romance galleries. Then I'm going to go ahead and start working on the March, because Mercury goes retrograde in March. Now, that's crazy. So what I have for you, the big news that's coming up for us at the moment is the Mars conjunct Uranus transit. And that is going to be occurring at 29 degrees Aries on February 13th. Now, anytime you have planets sitting at 29 degrees, this is a critical degree. It is because the planet is moving from one sign to the other. So it's trying to shed the energy of that old sign, and it's going to be picking up some new energy. And that's when typically there are 2 times when planets become really powerful. That is when they retrograde Okay, or that is when they hit a 29 degree aspect in the chart. As we know, Mars can rule aggression, heat, passion, speed, but he can also bring about war, fights, arguments, explosive tempers, and with Uranus, which is always expect the unexpected. So you might see a sudden skirmish where there might be a small outbreak of war, or you might have somebody all of a sudden just kind of freak out on you and go in a different direction. Or you yourself may be really, really testy and somebody says something or does something wrong and you just explode at them, make you want to fight. So please be cautious of that energy. You can, Aries is all about me, right? Me. It rules the self, it rules the ego. So this could be literally a situation in which someone is trying to aggressively express themselves. This could bring certain stuff to light. You've been watching, if those of you who've been paying attention, that Facebook story is not over. And there's going to be more stuff that comes out about Facebook. Facebook is 15 years old. It started underneath it came underneath I think, some kind of, I have to go back and look at the chart. It's a Uranian transit, okay? And Facebook is a huge social network. It 2 billion users, that's half the planet, is on there. But yet you're finding out some of the stuff, the shady behavior that they're doing. That story is going to continue. Another thing you want to watch is March 6th, when Uranus comes out of retrograde and goes back into Taurus. It's going to start its transit all over again. Watch the markets. Okay, that's going to show you a lot. So I want you to be very, very cautious about this energy. On the same day, February 13th, we have Juno conjunct the moon in Gemini. Juno is the queen of the heavens, okay? And she is opposite right now Jupiter, her husband. But what is Juno about? Juno is about right relationships. It is about being number one, okay? But there's some issues that go along with being number one. And how do you handle that here with the moon? It's going to be conjunct 0 Gemini. Then on the 18th, Chiron, who's been sitting at 29 degrees Pisces, will move into Aries at 0 Aries. And so this is the first time that many of us on the planet will be experiencing a Chiron in Aries. And Chiron is all about healing. It's about taking all of your horrible past experiences and moving through those. So this is really an opportunity to heal yourself, to change the way you think about yourself, to accept the way you feel about yourself, but also because you have that Aryan energy, that Martian energy, this could be about leadership, showing others how to do those things. Then, the same day, the sun will enter Pisces. Okay? Let's see. We also have Vesta conjunct Mercury at 5 degrees Pisces. And Mercury's going to be making a move. It's going to be moving into, it already moved into Pisces, I believe. Yeah. But it's going to be backing up near the end to get ready to go retrograde. Of course, I'll come back and do, on February 10th, Mercury moves into Pisces. That's right. It's in Capricorn right now, I think. I don't know. So just kind of bear with me a second. But it's going to be moving February 10th into Pisces. So this is going to be the kind of communication that you can have, or insights that you can have about healing yourself or dealing with past hurts, things that are coming up from your subconscious. With Chiron trying to move into Aries, moving into Aries, this is a real opportunity to get some big, major healing for yourself, or maybe helping to heal other people. Now, that doesn't mean taking on the three-legged, one-eyed dog, okay? You do want to keep your boundaries up. This is going to be a very volatile time frame these next couple of weeks. So, you can't change the situation. You can't change how other people behave or react. All you can do is keep a hold of yourself. yeah, Mars will be moving into Taurus on February 14th. So on February 13th, he conjuncts Uranus. And then the very next day, he moves into Taurus. So this is going to be about money-making ideas. This is going to be about maybe short-distance travel having to do with your business or your property. Taurus is a builder sign. So trying to move some things forward for yourself, perhaps in a financial sense. So I want you to be very, very aware. I'm going to be writing I've got several articles in the pipeline. Like, I've got several that are started, but they're not completed. So just kind of bear with me, and hopefully things will begin to slow down here. So what we're going to do this morning is take a look. Oh, Nicole A., I ain't your friend no more. We've been trying to talk to each other for, I don't know what, 6 months? I'm going to try to get a hold of you this weekend, okay? Love you. So, let's just go ahead and lay the cards. We're going to do a quick spread. I know some of you are probably going through it, or feel like you're going through it, or you're going through something and you can't put your finger on it. That's normal. There are major changes occurring, and there's a bunch of uncertainty in the air. And we do know, we want to keep our eye on, we have a quote-unquote another looming government shutdown on the 15th. And that's going to be falling close to that Mars-Uranus conjunction. And typically, that energy starts to play out a couple of days before and can last a couple of days after. Somebody's ego getting bent out of shape, so they just decide to do something completely unexpected. So just kind of, be mindful. That's what I can say. Now, 9 cards down, 4 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the 8 of Swords. Next row, 6 of Swords. Well, okay. 6 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Wow, all right. Queen of Swords. Here is the Star card. And here is the 3 of Cups. Okay, pretty awesome. Page of Cups. Now, the one thing I want to caution you about, particularly when Uranus transits a money house, is this could be the idea of getting a sudden windfall, right? Out of the blue. Through either a promotion or something, just a sudden windfall. Somebody gifting you some money. Maybe you've got some loans happening that are going to come in for you. But at the same time, Uranus is an all or nothing kind of a thing. I have seen people make, large amounts of money, or have come into some really valuable things, but at the same time, I've also seen people lose everything. All right? So there's obviously something coming. There's some message. There's some offer. Now, this card typically represents Pisces. Whatever this offer is, it is a surprise to you. Okay? And it's tentative. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 swords, 1, 2 wands, 2 cups, and a coin. I don't know if my glasses. I've got to go to an eye doctor, an eye appointment today. I have 2 court cards here, a queen and a page. Now, the 4 of Pentacles is also a builder coin. What it says off the bat is that you're in a safe and secure place. One thing. And typically this represents your the physical realm in which you're in. So we're talking You got a place to stay, you're able to eat, you're able to get your bills paid, you got a job, it's secure. But this card is also a warning in some sense that you might want to hang on to those things and protect those things, okay, a bit. But this card could also be talking about hanging on to things too tightly, all right, not sharing. I think for many of you, however, it is whatever this is representing, this, and this, I really feel for a lot of you, this is in a financial sense. This is kind of the idea that you're hanging on out of fear, okay? Because things have not been easy for you. It's a volatile environment that we are experiencing right now. And I want you to keep in mind, all of those transits that I was talking to you about, everybody's experiencing. The entire world is experiencing it. So do not think that you are alone. There are other people who are probably experiencing the same things that you are, having the same feelings, the same fears, the same doubts, whatever the case may be. This is a global thing. These 6 swords talk about overcoming some kind of either mental battle or battle of words or fight or argument. Maybe you actually had to just clamp down on your shit and say no to somebody so that you could move in another direction. The 6 of Swords can sometimes presage a breakup. She is a divorcee card. But the 6 of Swords is also that idea of moving from rougher waters to smoother waters. Sometimes this could be about a trip, traveling over water, by water, near water. But the idea is that even though you may be psychologically and or literally moving away from whatever these tough times were, these things where maybe you felt like you didn't have enough, or you were afraid to, or you're just hanging on to whatever you got right now. The idea is that you're still taking those thoughts with you. Okay, but those things are at rest now. And I think for some of you, you've gotten a message to come in, another message that's going to move things forward. Typically when this guy shows up, we're looking at some kind of movement. This could just be an offer. It's a water card. It just makes you feel a certain way. This guy says, hey, it's time to do something now. It's time to determine what journey you want. What trip do you want to go on? What do you want to do? Let's get fired up. Let's go out there and do it. But many of you are waiting. And perhaps you are fearful that you cannot make the move that you want to make. You feel caught in a situation in which you are not comfortable with. And sometimes this can be the victim card. Oh, I can't believe I got myself into this situation. Well, only you can control what you think, right? Only you are free to think whatever you want to think. So if you think that you can't get out of it, guess what? You're not going to get out of it. But I think many of you know that it's time to make some kind of move. Perhaps you don't know what that move is yet, and that in itself makes you feel stuck in one place, okay? Or not able to see an out. But from the 8 to the 6, there's 2 swords. So that tells me that there's a choice to be made. There's a decision. There's an option. Here's 2 pages, right? There's 2 pages here. Some of you feel you don't have enough information to make that decision, so you're not making any decision. Maybe you need time to kind of figure your way out of this. But nevertheless, that missing 2 of Swords says, right, that a choice has to be made. We see it here. Some of you do make this particular move, okay? And in that you find this victory. It's another 6. So 2 6s can speak to, where's my, I don't even know. 2 6s speak to self-confidence issues, may cause, problems in a relationship. The other 2 6s speak of justifiable faith and trust in your partner. Okay, well, that's all well and good, but your partner can be your lover, your partner can be your family member, your partner can, it could be a business partner, it could be a friendship. So again, this is going to play out in many different ways for many different people. That requires a personal reading, but it's a Wands card. And the Wands, the Six of Wands, is usually some kind of recognition for a job well done. Okay, it's some kind of attention coming to you for something well done, something that maybe you had to fight and you had to struggle through, but you got through it. Don't forget to thank those people who helped you to move through it, even if it was a crappy ass experience, because you did learn something. That's also a leadership card. And then whatever that is, it leads into this Ace of Cups, right? Even though many of you don't yet see it. Now, the Ace of Cups, most people just interpret that card as a new opportunity for love. Yes, that's true. But I've also seen the Ace of Cups show up when there's new financial opportunities. What it says is that it's a new emotional opportunity, a fresh start for some kind of emotional opportunity around the way you've been thinking, maybe around what you've been earning or what you've been doing with your time, what you've been investing or not investing, and what your determination is. What's your focus? Where are you trying to go? Here's the Star card. And this card says no matter what, maintain your hope and your dreams and trust and faith in the universe that everything's going to be okay. Right? Don't lose sight of where you're going. Yeah, stick your foot in the water. Hope, wish, dream, feel all of those things, right? And then manifest that into the physical world, that one foot on the ground. And then there's something that we're celebrating, this Three of Cups. So for some of you, this could be a graduation. Maybe some of you are getting the news of maybe a grandchild or the birth of a baby. Maybe some of you are celebrating a promotion or a move or simply just a new phase in your life that's trying to come in. And the other thing that I'm getting about this Star card is that it is the cosmology. So for someone out there, I don't know who, for someone out there, this is really the universe trying to line up things for you in a weird way. So don't look at things that are happening to you. If you've been afraid to make a decision or move, but you keep getting hints, something keeps happening, that you're like, oh wow, okay, that's not coincidence. All right, it's not coincidence. So pay attention to those things. You need clarity of thought, and you need clarity of vision, and you need clarity of heart, right? Sometimes I have seen the Eight of Swords to mean that if you've been waiting on news or a message to come in, it will come in. There's a slight delay on it. And maybe while there's a delay, you feel as though you can't really make a move one way or the other, but that's not true. You can always plan shit. Okay? And then be ready to move when the time comes. Sometimes you literally have to just do that without knowing how something's going to come about. Oh, I gotta get my kid up. So 1 second, I'm gonna come right back. Okay, sorry about that. But as I was saying, for some of you, you could be waiting on some kind of news. Maybe you've got a kid that's graduating. Maybe you've been waiting, if you are, looking to start a family or have a baby, maybe you've been waiting on that news. This could be your doctor giving you the news of everything you've ever hoped for or wanted for. Maybe some of you have had a slight illness that you were having difficulty recovering from, in which case the cards say that with a bit more focus and determination on getting well, be that through, prayers, positive thinking, therapy, whatever that case may be, you will eventually get better. Now, you guys know I don't do health readings, I don't do pregnancy readings, medical readings, but I'm just throwing that out there. So, I was looking at the 2 6s. I think I told you that. It was justifiable faith and trust in your partner, but also the second meaning is that there could be self-confidence issues causing a bit of instability in the relationship. Now, it is more weighted towards the swords than any other suit. So this tells me that there's a lot of thought, a lot of thinking, maybe a lot of worrying. There's obviously some kind of communications or lack thereof. There's also some elements of truth or trying to determine what the truth is, or the truth being revealed to you about a particular situation. Now, granted, this reading isn't going to be, what do you call it, true for everyone, because everybody has their own story. But there are two ways, basically. For some of you, I feel that there could be this air sign female who would either be Gemini, Libra, and or Aquarius. She represents the sign of Libra. There is some kind of partnership aspect here, because the Three of Cups talks about two things coming together to make a third thing, and something that you can actually be happy about or express some kind of joy about. So, you know, whether this is romantic, friendship, family, or business, for some of you, I do feel that this is going to, if not work out the way that you want it to, it will not be as bad as you think it is. Okay? So let's go into the cards. Venus, Libra is about right relationships, balance, harmony, making sure that everybody plays their part, and that you are getting in, you're getting out of it what you are putting in. So let's take a look at, I can look at all of these cards except for the two court cards as they relate to this star card. So let's go ahead and take a look at that for a moment. That's the only double number that I have are the two sixes. So, and I've given you those meanings. So we're going to start with the Four of Pentacles. Now, if you've been getting a lot of input, let's say, on something from other people, and the reason I'm putting this out is it says the Four of Pentacles with three court cards, and we have this third court card hanging over the reading. So the message is that if you've been taking on board other people's opinions, don't. Pay attention to, listen to your own intuition, and don't allow other people to influence your decision. And there is a decision here, okay? And maybe that's what some of you are going to be recognized for, that the fact that you kind of just did your own thing. Fours can sometimes, and as well as threes, can speak to the idea that events are going to be suspended before you can actually move forward. This might be that you may need to go back and rethink some things, but literally what I'm getting is kind of just keep moving forward. I have these two cards of movement across the center, and that doorway or that portal way will open for you. So let me take a look at the Eight of Swords. And I think a lot of you are in a place where you're not trusting what your own intuition, or you're in a, either literally or figuratively, you are in a place where you don't necessarily see a way out of this particular situation. But that's not true. It's how you think. Okay? And I think for some of you, this is the idea that you are getting the message that it is time to do something, but you are fearful of doing it. Okay? And that's a choice. That's that Two of Swords. So, Nothing about the Six of Swords or the Eight of Swords. So let me take a look at the Six of Wands. And then I'm going to look at the last card I can look at. I can look at the Ace of Cups and then the Three of Cups. So let's take a look at this Six of Wands here. Nothing about the Six of Wands. Let's take a look. And basically, for some of you, the Six of Wands energy is kind of reading upside down. And it just speaks to a bit of fear in going forward with something that you either are obviously being prompted that you know you needed to do something. Right? But again, there's that energy that you guys, some of you are fearful to do so. Making perhaps the incorrect decision or the wrong, there is really no incorrect decision or wrong decision. And as I always tell you, when you go against your own higher self, right? Typically you go against yourself. That's the ego speaking to you. That's the fear speaking to you. Now, it says with swords all around, and I'm just going to kind of read this, even though it's not necessarily surrounded, but it's more heavily weighted towards the swords. It says it indicates unsettled conditions in the home environment and that things within the family may be strained at this time. Well, and this could be due to work and financial issues. Let's take a look at the Three of Cups. It doesn't look like something bad. It just reads like a moment where you are, in effect, kind of fearful of nothing about the Three of Cups here. To me, this Six with the Page is a Seven of Wands. And this could be the idea that you've got a lot on your plate, a lot of things going on, and you're just trying to kind of muscle your way through that. In which case, that whole idea of don't take on other people's opinions right now, you probably don't have room for it. And what you're trying to do is just to maintain your position, whatever that means for you. But it also represents a time of inner conflict. Right? And maybe what you're hoping for is some kind of relief or release. That's what that Eight of Swords represents. And this could be the idea simply of having to let go some things that you were working on, so that just kind of turn them over, okay? And kind of clear the deck for yourself and only deal with those things that you can deal with realistically. To me, there's something about this Star card. I have 8 stars here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a big 8. There's 7, and it's not the number 8, it's the number 7 that keeps coming across for me. I don't know what that would mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look quickly. I'm going to look at this 8 of Swords. I'm going to look at this, hold on, 4 of Coins, 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. I'm sorry, the 6 of Swords. This, because to me, I think, for me, the most important line that jumps out, okay, not all this would look like great stuff on this side. The most important line to me that jumps out is this line. Being in a place that you're either not comfortable with, waiting on something, being a bit fearful of making a move. To me, the 6 of Wands simply says, if you can muster the courage and put yourself in the spotlight, for lack of a better term. Okay, you are going to come out pretty much in a strong position, because the Queen of Swords represents that idea of rationalization, of truth, of fairness, of justice, of tact, diplomacy, partnership, cooperation, because that's what Venus is. In order for us to, to get anywhere or to achieve anything, when we're dealing with other people in different circumstances, we have to be able to convince those people in the proper or correct manner to come along with us in terms of what it is that we're trying to do, right? And I think for some of you, this is the idea that you just kind of need to still your mind for a bit. I don't know, these 7 stars just keep, I don't know what they're telling me. You know, what's interesting to me is that on the throne of this queen, we have that cherub there. That's Cupid. Cupido. That's Venus's son. So go back and grab your Roman Gods ebook. Look at your chart and see where Cupido falls in your chart. And for those of you who are interested in the transit, get over to astro.com and type in that number for Cupido and see where he's transiting for you in your house. Because Cupido represents quick, sudden passions. This can be for places, for people, for things. Something that comes over you quite suddenly, this influence, that something becomes very, very attractive to you. Okay? But in order to work with that energy, because you need to be careful with Cupido, because he was tricked, but then but then he ended up shooting himself with his own arrow. So this could be the idea, the clarity of thought, that whatever this sudden passionate thing is that you're attracted to, or that you find yourself in, it may be fleeting. So, you want to maintain some clarity for yourself. Okay? I think that's what the cards are trying to tell me. I still don't understand what these stars are trying to tell me here. 7 days. And what's funny is Venus is the 7th house. 7 stars here. But then there's Aquarius sitting right in the center, because the star card represents the energy of both Venus and Aquarius. And those two energies don't necessarily go well together. Venus loves to be admired and she wants beautiful things, whereas Aquarius is more detached and kind of looks at how whatever is happening is going to affect the whole, because Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer, and every living thing needs water. So in other words, everything needs to be fed and nurtured. Water brings life. And in Roman days, all of the classes met at the bathhouses, and it was only when you were in the bathhouse that you were no longer a rich senator or a poor slave. Everyone was equal. Why? Because everybody was naked. Right? There's nothing that you can hide, and we're all on the same level. And so that's why Aquarius is known as the sign of brotherhood and sisterhood. Okay? Because it's about the community and about all of us being in the same boat, so to speak. So, or riding the same horse. So let's take a look at what this 4 of Pentacles is trying to tell us here. There is a Gran Signore, Esperanza, and a pleasant conversation. Well, remember I said to you something about the idea that there was a message that you've been waiting on to come in. This may be the idea that you have had to withdraw from a situation. Maybe it was not necessarily boredom, although that 4 can represent that, but it just says that this is about conserving what you have, not giving it out, maybe because you're not getting back that same energy. So what do? You just move away from that situation. Why? Because that's my truth. So the Gran Signore Speranza Conversazione, this is about a very important male in your life, but this could be your boss. This could be a lover or a past lover from where he shows up. This could be somebody that you're dealing with. Why? Because a Gran Signore is a man of means. He's a man of status. He's a man of power and influence. He's a landowner. He's got a good reputation. And so here we have the speranza. Speranza is hope, but it can also be fear. This is the steadfast hope. And is pleasant conversations. So this could be some kind of negotiation that you're trying to this could be the fear of someone not being rather superficial and not really speaking deeply enough for you to make that connection. So what do? Like, later, I'm out of there. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's all talk and no action. So what do you do about that? You can either continue to waste your time with that shit, waiting around to see if it's ever going to happen, or you can just go do your own thing. So let's take a look at this 8 of Swords here. The Letterato, the Ammalato, and the Sacerdote. Well, for some of you, this is the idea that where you are now, you are discovering that you really are in a place that you don't want to be in, or you're in a situation with a person that you are very uncomfortable with. But this could also be that person is also uncomfortable, which might be why we have this weird Gran Signore Speranza Conversazione. Remember, the 2 6s say self-confidence issue, so it may not be you. It may be that individual. The Sacerdote is a counselor. He's a priest, but he can also represent the single man. So this could be a discovery for this particular male that the reason why he's feeling so low or he's feeling so stuck, right, is because it's the way that he's thinking. So this could be somebody who's really kind of negative or always down on themselves, even though from outward appearances they seem to have their shit together. But this could also be you. Maybe you run across somebody who looks like they got their shit together, but all they ever do is whine and complain. Or at least being connected to their energy kind of puts you in a low place. You know what I mean? 6 of Swords. Well, now look. There's another like 3 of Cups. And I want you to read the reason why I say it's like the 3 of Cups to me. See how similar the energy is? Only there's a woman and 2 men, and here there are 3 women. That's the only difference. And that could be the idea. Maybe you have a choice between 2 males. Because we see that the happiness of the heart goes to worry and fear and anxiety. The tears. And the Bambino. Well, isn't that strange? Because I have the man and the woman in the boat. Now, going back to what we were saying about, perhaps for some of you, this is the idea that maybe you wanted children, or you find out that you're pregnant or whatever, and what was a happy situation for you turns into somebody not saying, no, I don't want that commitment. Okay, you got me stuck in that situation like you did it yourself. But, and then you make the decision that, hey, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Could be. I want to pull, let me pull cards on this Star card. something about these stars. I don't know what the cards are trying to tell me. Lamante, female. The Costanza, the permanence, the immutability, the unchanging nature. Belvedere. This is about a woman who stands out from the crowd. Not only does she stand out from the crowd, she stands in her own faith and her belief system. And she is not going to allow anything to hold her back. Why? Because she's in search of her own personal happiness. And maybe in a sense, a happiness that she can share with others, right? I think now that I'm looking at that, this says to me that the person that you have been dealing with in whatever situation has not been able to see you or understand, and therefore they themselves are in a mental block. They are in a mental block. And if you continue to hang with them, it's going to put you in the same situation. So maybe your best option is to lament that, walk away, because this bambino is not only about a baby, it's about new things, new beginnings, small changes. And maybe the best thing for you to do is to psychologically or literally just move away from the person and stand in your own truth. So what I'm going to do is pull cards on this, and of course that's going to cause you a bit of sadness. Maybe you recognize that the person was just not doing shit but wasting your time. You know what I mean? So, let's pull 3 cards. I want to look at this set of cards here. There's a 10 of hearts. There's the 5 of hearts. And there's the 2 of diamonds. Well, I'm going to break that damn mouse one of these days. The 10 of hearts is a wish card. Okay? It's almost like the star card. It spiritually, it's the highest card in the deck, and it's about regeneration and transformation, and it concerns love and harmony in all of your relationships, marriage and business, family and friends. It's also the good health card. So again, we see that there's somebody who has been either mentally jacked or physically jacked. But I do believe the other energy of this sacerdote is the fact of having the faith and standing firm, that everything's going to work out however it's going to work out. Maybe you don't have a clear envision of how things are going to work out, but you just know that wherever you are now, you're going to be moving to something new, different, better, perhaps, even if you don't exactly know how it's going to come about and what the end result is going to be. That's an optimistic attitude and an optimistic outlook. But sometimes that's what you need to move through situations. Now, this 2 of diamonds is kind of a funny card because it typically speaks to money coming in, incoming and outgoing, so it can deal with property and contracts, but it also signifies that whatever else is coming in, it's going to arrive in 2s. Now, we got the 2 pages, we got the 2 court cards. It's these stars. She's holding 2 jugs. And here are the two things coming together to make a third thing. Now, sometimes I've seen this show up as a legal letter, the Two of Diamonds. So let me give you another. The Ten of Hearts says good luck and success. And it suggests a good fortune after difficulty. This is what you need to see. That no matter what situation that you're in, that tide is going to change for you. Those two swords, 8 and 2, makes a 10. Eventually, you're going to figure out a way to, you have to make a decision. And once you do, you're going to be able to move in a different direction. The Five of Hearts can speak to jealousy and ill will from people around you. Maybe this is somebody who doesn't understand your nature that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Because sometimes she can just be quite blunt to the point, cut to the note, cut to the chase, and just walk away from a situation. And sometimes that's what you have to do in a tactful manner, of course. This Two of Diamonds, it says a business partnership and a change in a relationship. See that? I don't necessarily view this in a sense as one of the other meanings is gossip. I don't necessarily see that, although she can be quite the gossip. In which case, I think it may be somebody talking about you that you're not even really aware of. And in other words, I would not give it much thought or weight. It's somebody in the periphery. I'm going to take a look at these, the three, the Allegrezza, Al Cuore, the Dispiacere, and the Bambino. I'm going to take a look at these three cards. Look, the Ten of Diamonds, the Five, the Five of Clubs, which is like a Five of Wands, and the Nine of Diamonds. So there's some kind of financial aspect here, and if not financial aspect, it speaks to the idea of something happening on the physical plane. Now, the fact that there are two tens here. We know that two tens speak to a career change, usually for the better, changing financial circumstances. That's why I say I just never equate this card to just love strictly, because it really can mean new prosperity and new financial opportunities coming in. Something that will, in a way, kind of liberate you. We see that somebody's stuck. But this idea, the 10 and the 5, that means we have to put 5 hearts away, right? That's the change. That's the choice. And I keep telling you, there's a choice you're going to have to make. Now, from the 10 to the 9 is 1 diamond. Okay? That's like another ace. And then I have 2 5s. And this could be changes or upheavals in terms of the way you feel as to what you're motivated by. You understand what I mean? And 9s are a moment of perfection. It's 3 times 3 times 3. So if you've been getting a sign, if you've been things have been happening to you that seem rather coincidental, or things have been happening to you and you've been going, I think I could do something with that. Trust whatever that is. Don't take on board other people's opinions. Maintain your own focus. Let's take a look at this 10 of Diamonds. It's a changing energy for sure. The 10 of Diamonds says extraordinary financial opportunities. It is the highest card of material wealth and success. And with it comes public recognition, okay? Rewards and awards. The public recognition. And maybe for some of you, this is the idea that you're going to literally have to pick up, move, and leave and go somewhere to get that. And maybe you've been struggling because there's somebody that you're dealing with that you might have to leave behind. But if they're stuck in that 8 of Swords energy, they either going to jump on your bandwagon with you, or their refusal to do so is going to help you move forward. And that's the way you need to be looking at it. That's my opinion anyway. But again, don't take on my opinion. You have to make the best decision for yourself that you can. The 5 of clubs speaks to all kinds of written communications, contracts, leases, books, letters, wills, even term papers. So this could be like a business offer coming in for you, that suddenly it's going to, why? Because you're being recognized for the work that you do, that award, the fact that you've been able to, no matter what has come, you've been able to maintain your focus and just to do whatever it is you got to do. So here's this 9 of Pentacles. And even if you don't get the public recognition, you can reward yourself and celebrate that. Okay, you don't always need people to do shit with you. Okay. Yes, it's always more fulfilling to have someone to share that with, but sometimes you don't. So don't allow that to prevent you from, tooting your own horn and patting yourself on the back and, going out and celebrating, even if you have to do it by yourself. Now, again, we have this 9 of Diamonds, which says proposals of all kinds, business and personal. But it speaks to a new interest in the metaphysical. Wherever you go, there you are. How you think, you always take those things with you. Star card. I don't know what these 7 stars are telling me. It's 3 times 3 times 3, right? A number of perfection. So let me go to the other meaning. Diamonds always represent some kind of financial, it says a change in financial status, often for the better. With the clubs, 5, it says new friendships and alliances are made. Well, we see that here. We see that here. And with the 9 of Diamonds, it says a new business deal, travel, but it also speaks to being restless and or a change of residence. Whether you are moving house or maybe you are changing jobs. For some of us, we spend so much time working. Our home is, our work is like a home. It's like another residence. We spend a lot of time there. We have relationships there. We have arguments there. So this could simply be, when it says a change of a residence, it could be the change of address from one building to the next, right? Last 3 cards down. I don't know who all of this is texting me. I don't know. Hold on one second. I've got a lot of, okay. It's my best friend. We've been trying to go fishing, she and I, for the past week or 2. And I just can't do it. And y'all know I love, y'all don't know how much I love fishing, but I love fishing. And I really need to get out there, but I just don't have the time right now. Maybe by the weekend I shall. Okay, let's look at these, at what this star card can tell us. Three of clubs. Again, there's another clubs. 4 of clubs. So look, we go 5, 4, 3, and then here's a 9 of spades. Wow. And I'm going to tell you what this is telling me. It reads like a progression of something. 3 joining forces, the 4 getting to a place, and then the 9 comes in. But again, you've got 2 9s here. See that? So it's 2 10s, 2 5s, and 2 9s. But that's the only spades. The rest of it is hearts and diamonds and clubs. So there definitely is some kind of work aspect here. Let's do the 3 of clubs. It's almost like the cards say, all of a sudden you're looking at something and then maybe it falls through, but in a sense it kind of falls through like it's a blessing in disguise. So 3 of, it says delays and postponements and nuisances of all kinds. So this is the idea, like you're supposed to get to a job interview, right? And you go out to your car and the car doesn't start, or you look out and you got a flat tire, or the taxi cab, you couldn't get a taxi cab on time, right? Or the outfit that you wore, you ended up spilling coffee on it. That kind of shit. All right. With the 4, it speaks to some kind of electronic communications here. I'm going to read on that a bit more, because here is the 9 of Spades. And it says disappointments of all kinds, but certainly not permanent ones. And I think if there's any disappointment, it may be that there may be some delay in some news or message that you are waiting on. Okay, now the other interpretation of this 3 of Clubs, it says love and happiness, a successful marriage, a favorable long-term proposition. It is a second chance for you, particularly in an economic sense. With the 4, though, it's telling you to beware of dishonesty or deceit, and don't do blind acceptance of others at this time. That's why I'm talking to you about that. Don't take on other people's opinions at the moment. Okay. With the 9 of Spades, unfortunately, I think that some of you are going to do that. It's a choice. The 9 of Spades can sometimes represent an illness, an accident, or some bad luck, or being at your personal low. But yet, even still, so if something doesn't go exactly the way that you want it to, look at it somewhat like a blessing in disguise. And in one sense, it's saying that you can actually, if you can just accept that whatever it was, it didn't go the way, and let that shit go, you're going to open up that gateway for something else to come in. Don't lament it. Don't cry over it. Don't get drunk either. Because again, the first thing that I put out to you was this idea that this offer, this message, was something tentative. It's not a fully fledged offer. It's a possibility. It's one step below the new opening that's coming in, because this cup here gives you 4 cups. Okay. And that can tell you that, it may not be all that it's cracked, that whatever that offer is that's coming, it may not be all it's cracked up to be. Yeah? Okay. So, let's, and that could be what the stars are telling me. I really don't know what the stars are telling me, and I wish I could bring that out more for you. So here, let's formulate one question for the angel answer card, and then we're going to close the cards. I still have I think the 30-minute reading is on sale, and the 45-minute reading is on sale. You can click on the eye here in the right-hand corner. That will take you directly over to the website. You can peruse around. You can come join. You can, purchase products should you want. Ready? Now, isn't that funny? Because I just keep sensing that some of you are already getting the message on one level, but there's something that's preventing you from actually accessing whatever it is you think you need to know. And maybe what's holding you back in place is you think you need more information, but you already have all of the information that you need. So you need to take a good look at that. There's something about these stars. There's 7 of them. Somebody out there is going to know what that means. I just, unfortunately, my guides are not giving me that information. We're not always supposed to know exactly everything. That's what hope and faith is all about. So let's look at this. Look for a sign. That's so funny. It says, your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them. And look, I'm going to tell you about the white feathers. You can go outside and find a white feather, right? But you have to look at the Occam's razor, 9 times out of 10, if you find that outside, it has fallen from a bird. Okay? So this is, we're talking about you finding feathers in your house for some reason, or in your environment, in your car, that really have no reason to be where you find them. Okay, this is how you know your angels are around you. So that's why I always caution you guys in accessing the 7th dimension. You want to be careful to look for signs, but also to be prudent about what you think you're picking up. Okay, because if you start falling into the trap of everything being a sign, you can end up getting yourself in real trouble. All right. You can ask for someone else's opinion. You don't necessarily have to take it on, but if you're a bit suspect, ask for somebody's opinion. You can either take it on board or not. All right. You're still going to be responsible for making your own choices. So don't ask anybody to help you make the decision. All right. Jesus. Okay. It says many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they connect with a family member. Signs required focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Now listen, don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time. They are a message especially designed for you. Remember, I said that. Okay? If things are happening or you're picking up on signals, that's not coincidence. All right? So that's what I have for you, travelers. I hope this message helped you. This is going to be moving. We're coming up on another new moon here in a few weeks. As a matter of fact, I think the new moon occurs on the same day as hell, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know right now. So this is a 2-week cycle, a 2-week window for you to kind of, even just grab a piece of paper and a pen and jot down where it is you're trying to go and what it is you're trying to do, even if you don't know how you're going to get there. All right? So I hope this message helped. Again, if you want to come over and purchase a reading or join the website membership, I have 3 levels. You can click on the eye. Where is it? Yay, right there. And that'll take you directly over. Until next time, namaste.